The path under my feet curved like a snake and led me forward, past a huge, beautiful meadow that ended with an old, ancient forest, through rows of stone pillars. On each of them, in a wrought iron bowl, danced a tongue of blue flame. The fire trembled, but did not go out, even when a gust of wind blew. It was inside some kind of sphere, but it was not glass. It seemed alive, watching, evaluating, whispering something to its neighbors. I walked slowly, trying to breathe evenly, though my heart in my chest was beating like a frightened sparrow in a cage. But when a huge wall rose before me, so high that I had to lift my head to see the top, my common sense quietly sat down in the corner and nervously lit a cigarette. The stone of the wall was dark, pierced with silvery veins that pulsed like the veins of a giant creature. And beyond the wall rose towers, unusually bizarre, graceful, with mirror windows in which the sky was reflected. Above all this, cutting through the clouds with a sharp spire, reigned the great tower. It looked as if it was holding up the sky. I stood with my mouth open, and only then noticed the inscription above the gates. The letters, carved just above the gates, changed color and pulsed, Academy of Astria. Astria? I whispered. Sounds beautiful. But where the hell is this Astria? And where am I? I pressed the book to my chest, as if it could give me answers. The air smelled of damp stone, cold metal, and ozone the way it smells before a heavy storm. And suddenly I heard a hum low, vibrating. While I hesitated, the gates opened on their own, with a quiet, barely audible creak, as if they sighed. And I was almost deafened by the rush of sound. The courtyard was enormous, a stone square, large enough to hold several stadiums, boiled with life. I took a few timid steps forward, and a real shock washed over me. It was everything a fevered costumer's mind could invent. Cloaks of every shade thrown over metal armor, strange headpieces, leather armor with carvings, and simple linen. But most striking of all were the people themselves. At first glance, ordinary boys and girls, their parents. Yet something in their movements, in their postures, in the too sharp gleam of their eyes and their quickened breathing betrayed that something was not right. They were all like taut strings. Some moved too smoothly, as if flowing, others too abruptly. All right, Lena, I thought, clutching the book tighter. This is just a very strange festival. A closed party for role players. An extra crowd for a magic film I accidentally walked into. The sun flickered through the spires of the towers, illuminating the cobblestones, and the air was thick with the scent of antiquity and tension. I barely managed to turn my head. From the opposite side of the courtyard, cutting through the crowd like a wing, walked a boy, tall, stately, incredibly handsome, with a cold gait that was frightening to approach. Too late, I realized he was coming straight toward me. I wanted to step back, but my feet seemed glued to the stones. He lifted his eyes. They were strange amber brown, with golden sparks deep within. He didn't even slow down, and he didn't touch me. He just looked. In that gaze was such a mixture of arrogance and power that it struck me like an invisible wave in the chest. The air between us thickened, became solid like a wall, and hurled me backward. What the? Was all I managed to exhale, and I flew onto the cobblestones, bracing for the impact, but collided with someone behind me. Strong arms caught me at the last moment, keeping me from falling. Oh, I struggled, my heart pounding somewhere in my throat. That insolent guy, did you see? He didn't even touch me. What does he think he's doing? Are you all right? Came a calm, cheerful voice by my ear. I lifted my eyes and saw my rescuer. Fair hair gleaming in the sun, and light gray eyes sparkling with mischief. He was smiling so broadly, as if all of this were just a fun game. Yes, I think so. I was still boiling with indignation, adjusting my t-shirt. I'm Lena. I'm Litter. The boy winked. A shapeshifter, in case you haven't figured it out yet. And by the way, the most charming guy in the stream. That gloomy one, that's Drim. He's our dragon. My heart skipped a beat, then raced even faster. Shapeshifter, dragon, well, of course. And I'm a Winx fairy. They're just mocking the newcomer. Just then, a girl approached us. She looked perhaps the most normal of anyone here, though her long red hair, braided into countless plaits with metal beads, gave her an exotic look. Her eyes greenish-gray, wise and a little weary. Don't pay attention, she said softly. Our majestic Drim isn't in the mood today. Probably didn't sleep again. I'm Altal, a witch. Witch, shapeshifter, dragon. I chuckled nervously. Do you all get into your roles this much? Really? Alta and Litter exchanged glances but said nothing. You'll probably understand soon. Judging by your clothes, you're not local. Alta nodded toward the center of the square. And if you don't know, the selection is about to begin. Let's go closer to the crystal. What selection? What have I gotten myself into? What kind of madness is this? My thoughts at that moment flooded my overheated mind with incredible speed. I took a few steps forward, clutching the book tightly like a shield. Hundreds of people stood in a semicircle. The sun peeked out from behind the tower, and a beam fell on a huge stone set on a pedestal in the middle of the courtyard. It was the crystal, transparent as a tear and sharp as a blade. Gradually it began to glow from within, slowly rose into the air, and hovered a meter above the ground. A thin, high-pitched sound rang out, making my teeth vibrate. The crystal began to emit rays of light, chaotically, sharply. A white beam struck the crowd and singled out a tall, pale boy with a tattoo on his neck. He flinched as if from an electric shock, then spread into a predatory smile and proudly walked behind the monument. The crowd hummed in approval. Then the light found a girl with short black hair. She covered her face with her hands, her shoulders trembling, but when she lowered them, her eyes shone with a bright gleam. She too went to join the chosen. Another boy, broad-shouldered, bear-like, was caught by the beam. He growled, I swear. It was a roar, not a cry, and stepping heavily, joined the group. I watched, spellbound. This could not have been special effects. It was felt on the skin. The beam touched Alta. She straightened. Her braids jingled, and she confidently stepped forward. Almost immediately, the light enveloped Litter. He winked at me in farewell, made a theatrical bow, and ran to his parents who stood to the side. His younger sisters clung to him like little monkeys, and it seemed to me they might start biting from sheer joy. But he only laughed loudly, and then the beam began to prowl through the crowd, searching, seizing one after another. Now it was coming closer to me. I wanted to hide behind the back of some tall man in a cloak, but my legs wouldn't obey. No, this is a mistake. There's nothing like that in me, right? I just want to go home. But the beam struck directly at me. I shut my eyes, expecting a blow or pain. But instead, I was gently wrapped in warmth. It was like an embrace of sunlight. My heart pounded loudly, and a strange vibration passed through my hands, resonating in the book I was holding. For a moment, it seemed to grow hot. When the light faded, I was still standing in place. I knew it. Alda's joyful squeal rang out beside me. You too. This is so cool. Everything worked in you. And you for me. I barely stuck out my tongue to protest when the beam vanished. Around me remained mostly those who had not been chosen. A boy standing to the left kicked the cobblestones hard and, hiding his eyes, trudged away. Another girl, very young, sobbed against her father's chest as he stroked her hair and whispered something. And behind me, two little boys wrestled on the ground. They growled at each other so gutturally and sincerely that it seemed they were puppies. I stood in the middle of the courtyard, among strangers' broken hopes and triumph. My heart was still racing wildly, and my mind desperately tried to grasp. This is all real. Dream's gaze was real. That warmth was real. And I, in this someone's reality, was damn real too.